So, we're going to try to take everything that I normally would talk about in 2 hours and talk about in 30 minutes. So if you have questions or anything, write them on a sticky note. Obviously, you know where to find me, so if you have questions or need help, I can help you. So we're going to talk about BrainPOP Game Up. Our school has a BrainPOP subscription. A lot of people don't know that you can set up individual accounts for your kids on BrainPOP, and that's for BrainPOP and BrainPOP Junior. So you can set up accounts for your kids. You just have to have this code. Once you put in this code, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send out a screencast where I'll show you exactly how to sign up for a teacher account. But once you have that, you can build a class in BrainPOP, and it's called My BrainPOP. That's gonna be your most beneficial way to utilize the games we're gonna talk about today, because it holds your kids accountable. They're not just gonna be randomly going on BrainPOP and doing a whatever game. They are going to be able to. You're going to be able to see their activity, and you can kind of gauge where they are. With a lot of the games, we're going to talk about some of the assessment tools with it. A lot of the games, you can follow up with the kids afterwards. It can help you with small groups. So we'll get into that stuff here in just a second. So I'm going to skip over the agenda because we're just going to go quick. So BrainPOP Game Up is free, even if we didn't have a subscription. So interns, you guys can get to this stuff for free. It is free. We're not going to watch the video because I'm going to talk you through it. So on BrainPOP Game Up, there are short and long form games. There's simulations, there's fluency games, especially for K through 2. They are adding, like I've been talking with the game developers at BrainPOP, and they are adding games for the lower grades. So there are all different kinds of games that you can play. You can access the games on topic pages for the videos that you're watching, or you can go through the Game Up link. So I'm going to show you the different ways that you can get to the games that are available. And then the games, these are not just random games that if you've ever gone on like Internet for Classrooms before, that website, you can put in any standard and it will give you a list of games that work. The games are not vetted. They just go, oh, it's got that keyword. They're just going to put them in. These games, BrainPOP has a rubric that they evaluate games. And they actually go through and they look at how meaningful and useful they would be in a real-world classroom. So they're not just, it's not a free-for-all for what BrainPOP supports. So you can search games according to a topic, or you can see a list of all games. So I'm going to show you right here, if my link will work. There we go. So to get to this link right here, it's going to be touchy today. You would go on regular BrainPOP. So this is the regular BrainPOP website. Do y'all want the lights off? Or are we good?
Yeah, one, maybe more.
Okay. Thank you, Alyssa. All right, so if you go on regular BrainPOP, down and scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see a little controller. That's how you can get to Game Up. That's one of the ways. Through any of the videos as well, like if you click on a video, it'll give you associated games for that video too. But so, say you click on the little controller down at the bottom, this is the Game Up page. So right now they're highlighting civics games, but if you scroll down, we've got games by subject. So I told our resource teachers, like, you should definitely come and check out because there's all kinds of games by subject. Then if you scroll down and keep going, these are all of the games that are available to play on an iPad. So all of these games are not Flash compatible, so you can't, there's some that you can't play, but normally that says see all 90. So there are tons of games. I don't know if they've been like weeding through, but there are tons of games that the kids can play on an iPad. We're going to go into what Snapthought is. Snapthought is a way that you can actually assess their gameplay. So it's really amazing. There's multiplication games. There's coding games. I mean, you can go through. There are all kinds of different games that are available. On BrainPOP Junior, to get there, I'm going to go, or you can click on any movie. Right here on BrainPOP Junior is how you will get to the Game Up on BrainPOP Junior. And with here, they've got their highlighted games. But if you click on any of these subject areas, like math, it gives you all of the games that are available that BrainPOP has actually vetted for K through 2. And there are some really cute games that are available. So that's how you would get to them. Most of the games, like I said, require a web browser, but that can be, well, for what? We've got 2 weeks left of computer time, so of computer resource. But, you know, most of the games can be played on a web browser. There are a few that work on mobile devices. Sortify and Time Zone X, if we have time, I'll show you those two. They have them for different subject areas, different topics. They're really awesome. So, different ways that you can use games in your class. Most of them can be played in a class period. Okay, that's in less than 45 minutes. I have been recently assigning games for homework. With the My BrainPOP feature, I can actually go and see who played the game. And you think they're, you know, it's homework. Everybody's playing the game, and they're playing the game for hours. Like, it's crazy. So, we do it for whole group instruction, like a hook exercise. We're going to play this game. You guys don't know how to play it. Now we've got to learn this topic so that you can learn how to play this game. Small groups, you know, we were talking about guided reading this morning. Guided reading group could definitely, one of your groups could definitely be playing one of these games in a one-to-one setting. My class is Bring Your Own Device. My kids, for the past 2 years, it's not like coincidence. They've got them. You just got to get them to bring them in. My kids have been bringing their own device for the past 2 years, and it's beautiful, like what we're able to accomplish. We have a school subscription. We have My BrainPOP. I gave you guys the code. I'll send you a video of how to actually get in and set up your class and everything. What I love that we're going to look at here in a minute is Snapthought. Snapthought is where the students can capture moments from their gameplay, and they write reflections about where they are in the game, and they submit their comments to the teacher. So while they're playing, while everybody's playing, you can go, everybody stop, take a snapshot of where you are, and it's literally like a screenshot. And so you can see who's on task, who's not, who's getting it, who's not. The kids write notes about where they are, why they thought that was the best answer, or what's going on in their game, and they submit them to you. So it's an active, they have to be actively thinking about what they are doing as they're playing this game. So we're going to look at a couple of games today, just so you can get familiar with what we have. One of them is called Lure of the Labyrinth. One of my suggestions for when I did play this game with my class last year, and this year I teach language arts and social studies. Last year I was all subjects. But so last year when we played this game, it's called Lure of the Labyrinth. We previewed it as a class on the smartboard. We went through it, and then there are tons of lesson ideas on BrainPOP Educators. I'm going to show you how to get to this stuff, and there's support materials for how to teach how to play the game. Because when I very first pulled up this game, I was like, what are we supposed to be doing here? I did not understand it at all. So this game, so we're talking about STEM so much lately. This game was created by MIT and their education arcade. So, I mean, it's a really great game. We're going to go here now. So this is the game, Lure of the Labyrinth. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys. Over here on the side, oh, let me log in really quick. That's why it's not showing up for me. I'm not going to be a kid. I'm going to be grown up right now. I think. So when you are logged into a game, up here at the top, or as a teacher, when you're looking for games, here's the actual game interface. But if you look up here, it says teach with this game. If you hit the little arrow here, it tells you what subject area it's good for, what grade level, how long it's going to take the kids to play, because we know we always run out of time, and then how you can assess the kids from playing that game. So this game is Snapthought enabled. So when I talked about that screenshot, like this one has that. So just from here, I can already go, nope, not going to work, or yes, this is something that I'm going to use. In the next box, these are lesson ideas. Here's a lesson plan. Here's teaching tips. Here's printables. Here's videos. Everything you need right there for that game. So the videos I love, some of them are kind of like previews, and so it gets the kids excited because I'll just play the video and be like, and this is your homework tonight. And they're like, oh, I want to play the game so bad. Like, it really gets them excited, and I didn't even really do anything. Somebody else already made the video. So, there are even, like, this one has a graphic organizer that goes with it. This one, I'm not going to tell you because we are going to play the game. I'm not going to tell you what the goal of this game is. You'll figure it out, and you can see how the graphic organizer would go. I also love right here where it gives you the exact standards that are associated with the game. So you don't have to fish around. You don't have to, like, try to find, somebody's already done the work for you. So that's right up there and teach with this game. And until I went to my BrainPOP trainings, I never would have even clicked on that. I wouldn't have even known that that was there. So, we are going to play Lore of the Labyrinth. So the game, Lore of the Labyrinth, there's 3 different little games that are associated, that are within it. And there's a backstory, and you know, boys seeing this, they're going crazy. They're like, okay, it's a comic, it's got grossness, it looks awesome. So it goes, but the 3 games kind of go together. So you have to look at, I'm not going to read you all this right now, but we're going to hit go. Let me make sure my volume is on. Alright, so this is the game. There are no directions, but the kids are brought into this. So what do you think, like, what are some things that you guys see?
Card choices.
Do what?
There's different areas that you can click on.
Different areas you can click on. What were you saying?
They have the choices in the middle. Like,
They have-
looks like different cards or choices they can choose from.
Oh, I just took a snapshot. I didn't even mean to. Yeah, different choices. So, does this look like anything you've ever seen? I'll just tell you, like, I know it's hard for you guys to see. There's like a lollipop, a hamburger, pizza, apples.
Buying food.
Yeah, we're buying food. So, you might see anything over here.
Eyeballs.
Yeah.
Money bag.
You think it's a money bag? What do you think we should
Eyeball
do?
bag.
So, if I touch, it looks like these guys move. What do you think I should do with them?
Launch it where you want to go buy a pizza or something.
So, where should I put them?
Take the green eyeball and place it on number 9. The
Place it
pizza.
on number 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put it on the top, where the holes are up top.
Okay. Like there?
There you go.
Okay. What should I do next?
Eyeballs
The
are
blue
divisible
one.
by 3, does that?
Oh, you're already thinking ahead of me. You want me to put more eyeballs?
Yep.
Yeah,
One of
put them
each.
all up there.
One of each?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got some pretzels that were 18.
Are the
So
kids
it gives us,
are they figuring out this rules by themselves too? I mean, are you don't.
it's kind
you
of
don't
fun.
follow them on-
What I did with this one, like, we previewed the game, I had them, and what I'm doing to you is obviously what I do to them. What do you think we're going to do? And we just start playing with it and what, as we go through, so I'm going to keep playing for just a minute, because then you'll see where we're going. So what should I put in now? The 3 of them together gave me 18.
3 of the same.
3 of the same? I'm going to do pink, because I like it. Alright, that gave me 18 too. And notice up here it's keeping track of what I put in. Should I do
3 green and blue.
2 green and a blue?
Mhm.
2 green and a blue. That gave me 15. Uh-oh. Now that guy's blinking. What should I do?
Touch
Touch it? Not doing anything.
Touch it.
Add what? Add more.
Of the colored things to see if they'll fall into.
Alright, which ones?
Blue.
Do blue?
Blue.
Do all blue?
Sure. Let's do all blue. That's way to determine. Whoa.
Oh.
Did we get him?
You broke it.
We got 27. Thanks.
So
I guess this will have to do.
Hungry.
blue is 9.
So ultimately, this game is teaching the kids how to solve for X. Okay? So through the process of elimination, like, you've got to let them explore and play and try. And your guy gets sad if you don't win. It does keep going, and the variables become harder and harder as you go. But letting the kids, especially with our school, talking about growth mindset so much, letting them struggle and not know how to play for a minute, they start to realize, okay, if I do this, this, and this, it adds up to that. I always have my kids, when we play this one, I would have them keep a sticky note. Just write down what you notice. But as you can see, also through the game, like if we were, let's replay. If we're playing the game, and we've got our, say we did our 3, and say, I'm like, okay, after your first one, I want you to take a snapshot of where, or snap thought of where you are. So they take this, they click down here, and it shows their screenshot. From here, they can type in and say, I picked 3 pinks and I noticed that it was 8, or that each of the pinks is representative of 8. But it changes. The next round, it changes, and they throw in another eyeball. So it's constantly challenging them a little bit further. But then this is what I love, because they're not just randomly clicking. There's no room for that. I mean, we've taken our kids to the lab, and they just click until they get the right answer. We know they do that. With Snap Thought, you can have them, they're accountable. Like, there's no question of, you have to be able to explain where you are and what you're thinking. And give them like 1 or 2 games of having to do this and write, I don't know, and then pull that up in a parent conference and say, this is what so-and-so was doing during computer lab. They will start to actually pay attention and really think about the games. So it's when, our time, like what we're talking about, is playfully assessing, having that fun for the kids to, they're getting assessment, but they're also, having to be, or we're getting the feedback that we need too. So, that's one of them. Another one, if you've ever used iCivics, like I used it many years ago, they're at another one of the games that BrainPOP features. It's called Executive Command. We're not going to play that one for the sake of time right now, but it is really great. I played it the first night that I played it. I wish I would have played it with my students, but the first night I played it for like an hour and a half. And you take on the role of the president. You have to go to all the different branches of government. But even, in the lower grades, I could totally see playing it whole group and talking about, well, what does the Department of Defense do? It's very, I'll just show you the game just so you can at least see what it looks like. It is so, they have to vote. We have election season coming up. They have to pick a platform. And it walks you through, and the kids are the whole time, they think everything that you're saying is amazing and you didn't even really do anything. So, and right here, teach with this game, it tells you how long it's going to take you to play. The only thing that I have noticed with the iCivics game, and there's another one, there's a couple of longer games where you would normally be able to save your progress, and on BrainPOP you can't save your progress. But if you go to the website that hosts this game, you can save your progress and the kids can go back in. So, because I worked so hard when I was the president to answer all my emails, and we went to war and all this stuff, and then when I X'd out my war, it was over and I had to start all over again. So, it was really cool. It's a really cool game. I love it. So, if you go into the topic movies, you can find any of the games. For every game, there is a quiz that is associated with it. So when we're talking about assessing, not only does the Snap Thought give you an assessment, there's a quiz that's associated after. So they have to be active in playing these games and understanding what the terms and things that they're supposed to be learning are. And then I showed you guys the lesson ideas button. So the lesson ideas button, it pretty much takes you to BrainPOP Educators. BrainPOP Educators has so much support for us, especially since we have BrainPOP in our class. It is an amazing support. I'm going to show you guys this actually. How do I get out of here? So this is BrainPOP Educators, and they have they'll have what their latest game or video is on this website, and this is free too to sign up for. But if you go over here, this is what I really love for finding games. This little section right here is academic standards. If you put in, so we're Florida, and say I'm looking for language arts, and I'm looking for a first grade game, I hit submit. It gives me every single standard. This is not just for games either. It gives me every single standard that is a Florida standard, and it tells me what videos are associated with that standard. If I click, it'll tell me where to go to find them. So there's BrainPOP and BrainPOP Junior. All of these are associated with parts of speech. So somebody has already found everything that goes with our standards. Some of it might be loosely related, but I don't care, because when I put BrainPOP on, my kids are excited.
Yep.
It doesn't matter, and if it's loosely related, well, we're good teachers. We know how to tie the information together, and it's great for our enrichment kids. So it tells you what videos. Then it will also tell you, even like BrainPOP ESL, if you have an ESL student, it tells you what games are good, like right here. So conventions, capitalization, punctuation, and spelling. So here's a game called Quill, where they have to go through and fix the errors. And so there's tons. And with Teach With This Game, it tells you what subject, how long it's going to take to play. So, I mean, there's so much. And BrainPOP Educators, I just love that you can do the standard search, because then you know exactly, you know what's coming up, and you can go ahead and pre-plan for that. Trying to make sure I tell you guys everything I want to tell you. Yep, we've already talked about that. So you can sign up for BrainPOP Educators once you get your BrainPOP account put together, and I'll send you guys the video of how to do that. You're automatically connected to BrainPOP Educators, and from there you can make decisions.
Can I ask just a logistic thing, because my mind is exploding?
Yeah.
I love BrainPOP. I think we all do. Is this something that you went in and you set up each child's account, or or you had their parents do it? So you went in and you...
I had my kids do it. Like, you set up a classroom code, but once you make your account, so if I'm here on BrainPOP, on the main BrainPOP page, once you'll go to enter code, you'll put in that code that I gave you, and it walks you through setting up your account again. So you would no longer use Ocean Palms Otters as your login anymore. You would now use your own personal login.
Awesome.
And then in my classes, that's where you set up. And look at right here. So this is where I can see Lainey and Jake. If you guys go to Jake's thing, or I'm going to have more, there's so much that I can't even explain everything. But right here, I can see that Luke played Sortify. And so it even gives you a spreadsheet of what your kids have been doing and what has been submitted. But to make your class, you just hit Manage Class, and you can hit Share Code.
There you go.
And so I made my code is WAVE1516. So the kids go in and they sign up just the same way that I signed up. They enter that code, and then it has them create an account. You could definitely have the parents do it for them, or you could do it, but have the parents do it, extra credit, and the kids get to play games, and you get the feedback. That's the big thing. They can play the games all day long, but how can we assess their gameplay? That's what the big takeaway for me was. I don't want my kids just randomly clicking.
So
I want to know.
If they have this, we set this up and they have their own code, you know how regular BrainPOP shuts down at 3 or 4 o'clock, whatever it is? Do they then have access to everything?
Yes.
Oh,
It's amazing. Yeah. So,
that's awesome.
I'm trying to think of one last thing. Let me just show you. So, say you just want, if you're on just any video. So, this one is about theme. We just did. And so in a regular video screen, and all of BrainPOP, and I don't know if you guys know, works on iPads now. This screen works on iPads. You don't have to have that app anymore. Delete the app, and you can go straight to regular BrainPOP on here. But so with any video, there's the quiz. There's Make a Map, which is kind of like inspiration. If you look outside on my wall, we made maps about Reconstruction. My kids watch the videos, I think, 10 times each. And so their maps are not that great, but I know that they know about Reconstruction and how things went. But then if you click on Game Up, it will show you the games that they have loosely tied. Sometimes they're not that great and connected, but they have loosely tied these games to that topic. This one was really cool. It's one of the long form games where you are a magazine editor, and so you have to go through and fix but yeah. And let me just show you. Like, this is one of the ones that works on the iPads. It's called Sortify. So Sortify has 19 different decks. What you do with these is you have to categorize and classify cards into buckets. You get to decide what the buckets contain, and it is beautiful. Like, when we go to the lab, I play it with the kids, and I have kids that get higher scores than me. Because you get, so say we're doing like angles. The angles one is really good. So when you go into the game, I'm going to take these off. So it gives you like all of these tiles, and you have to categorize and classify them when you click on the bucket. So we can do, and the buckets have different point values. So differentiated instruction, your lower kids are still able to be successful. Your higher kids are making these amazing connections that even you can't figure out. And you're like, whoa, you got this many points. And it's great. And the kids are excited, and they submit their buckets to you at the end. So you're once again getting that assessment piece, seeing who can make the connections, and driving your instruction from there. So I think that's it. We don't have to clap, but I love sharing about this. Jake and I both became certified BrainPOP educators last year at FETC, and I did a lot of work with them this past time when I went. So this is the tip of the iceberg. There are quizzes that are available. BrainPOP Junior quizzes are coming soon.
They have quizzes for some of them, just short.
Well, no, but there's a quiz mixer where teachers create their own questions for anything. Like, there is a question bank, like our common assessments, we could have gotten them from BrainPOP. Like, if you type in theme, you can find question banks from, 2nd grade to high school. Like, it's crazy. So there's that. There's the Make a Map tool. There's so much. So in the handout that I gave you, though, on the last 2 pages, kind of walk you through. It's a step guide for how to do snap thought. So that way you've got the steps right there in front of you. You can use those to kind of guide you as you go through. And I'm here, so call me, email me, or whatever, and we can talk.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're right. We will use it tomorrow. Tomorrow. That's what she said at the thing. We're going to use what I teach you tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks, guys.
Do y'all feel